when we went there was a medical and a psychiatric test, and again it's about when if everyone's ever met a psychiatrist even on a social event, you're always thinking, what do they think? What do they want us to say? You know, and then you're thinking, they're thinking, yes, he wants to have sex with his mother. And he wants to kill his father. You know, so I had to do this. It was with Thomas, and he's a lovely bloke. I'm still in touch with him now, and so I had to do that, and we had a doctor interview. But something that I never told Amy until after the Biggest Loser finished. When we did the Biggest Loser medical, it was obviously physical tests. We didn't want people dropping down dead. You had to have a certain level of fitness. And at 32 stone, you can imagine I was like really, really unfit. But the fitness test that I did was they had the step, you know, and it's about that high. You have to stand up and up, down for 3 minutes. That morning when I woke up, I had a gout attack through the night. I assume everyone knows what gout is. My toes, both of them, were really badly inflamed. I don't know if it was the stress or what brought it on. I've had gout before, and actually it was a free gift that I got for like a life. And it didn't happen that often, but there it was. And we got a taxi from the hotel we're staying in, the Travel Lodge, to the audition place, which is a bit like, say, getting a taxi from here to like the main road almost. The driver was like, "It's all right, come on, Mike." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but you know, we've got stuff and that." And I didn't want to say to Amy, I can hardly walk here. So I was going to have to go into this audition, which I knew was going to be physical, and pretend that I could walk alright. So normally I would stand with my feet like that. I just wanted it so much that I wasn't going to say, "Look, I've got a bit of a gout problem, so I'm not going to be able to do this stuff. Can I come back and do it another day?" So I knew it was going to be like, we were the first batch of people to do it. I knew it'd be other days and I could have come back. I'm not going to tell you. So I did this step up. And that was like, 3 minutes, which if I'd been in my absolute prime at 32 stone, with no gout, and the fact I was dehydrated, because I said don't drink or eat because you've got this blood test and might affect the blood test. So I was dehydrated, hungry, and I had gout. And I had to do this step up for 3 minutes non-stop. At about a minute and a half, my calves went into cramp. So I had cramp, my toes were killing us, and all the while I was just in absolute agony, but I didn't let it show. I could hardly breathe because it was so painful, not only because I was so unfit, but because it was so painful for us. But what I did was, do you know these screens that I have at the doctors? Like the folded screens? There's one of them, I don't know why I had one of them, You're about to go on TV and it's stand on TV like that, and it's like, what the heck was, big pride around the back, yeah, okay. So I'll stand up, and then every time I stood up, I could see over the top of it. I could see the other contestants all sitting over, well, prospective contestants. One of them actually got in, the rest of them didn't. Up and down. And as I started to feel the pain, I just started thinking with Joanne's voice in my head, saying, I know you can do it, I know you can do it, I know you can do it. And I shut my eyes and I could see her in my mind's eye. Joanne's a bit mental. If you met her, you wouldn't realise this until you've known her a little while. She is a bit mental, she just like daft dances and that. And I was visualising her doing that, and I just kept giving it extra energy. And I did it, and she said, "Oh, getting out of breath, just think about it." And the woman said, "Great, that was excellent, great. You did it, good job." So then there was more phone calls and that sort of stuff, and eventually the phone call came from Katie Fox, and she said, "Hi, it's Katie." Now, we're being told you'll get a phone call, and this is how the conversation is going to go. "Hi, it's Katie, you're in," or "Hi, it's Katie, sorry, you haven't made it, maybe try again next time." And then that'll be it. If you don't want to get into conversations why I haven't made it. So I've been waiting for this conversation now for 2 weeks. And I felt that it was going to come. I was sat in the chair, and right enough the phone rang. I said, "Hi, it's Katie." I'm not going to pause a dramatic effect because you all know that I got in, and that was a really great moment. And there's me, yes, absolutely knowing that I actually made it. And I was like, "Oh, brilliant, thanks. Oh, yes." Joanne was upstairs, and her just came on, "Oh, brilliant, yeah, cuddling, we're really happy, this is it. And then I sort of went, well, yeah, we knew that would happen. Because all of the while, from the very beginning when I found that application form, I knew that from the minute I found that application form, that I was going to win the Biggest Loser. I knew, and God knows what would have happened if I hadn't, because I was so determined that was going to happen. There was no shiny objects in the road like one off here. That was it, I was heading for winning the Biggest Loser. Not for the money, not for the plaudits, But because I knew that was going to be my gateway to what I wanted to do, helping people and stuff like that, and because I knew to win, I was going to have to lose at least 35 to 40% of my body weight, which meant I'd get the way I want to be. I'll tell you this as well. At the London audition, said, how much weight do you think you can lose? I said, I think I'll be between 19 stone 2 and 19 stone 5. I was 19 stone 4 when I finished. Kicking myself, wish I'd said 15 stone. Because I knew I had to lose about 40% to win. As it happens, I was still one of that equaled. Because last year, the 1 year before mine, that I only lost 35.5%, so I was still one of getting that as well. So that was like basically the biggest journey, and that got us, you know, you also, if you watched it on the telly, if you didn't, you're watching Gypsy Wednesday, I really want to talk to you. So, you watched the programme, you knew what went on, and this was one of the things that we did. And you only saw it for probably about 30 seconds on the programme. It actually took half a day to film it. In Sunderland, this is the middle of Sunderland yet. You know, this is the middle of Sunderland. I'm really pleased actually because there's a big banner up just here, you can just see the corner, which was advertising Geordie Shaw welcome to this nightclub. And I was like, I really wanted to get a really good impression of the North East. Is anybody here from the North East? I don't know. Oh, Martin is. Most people from the North East are really proud of the North East. And what a great place it is. Whereabouts are you from?
From Blythe.
Blythe. Northumberland, beautiful, fantastic place, Newcastle city centre, the bridge scene, beautiful, brilliant. And they were saying there's many things you should do this way. Where would you recommend? So the beach, the Shields, South Shields Beach, was really nice. Different nice locations, nice scenery. The Stage building, if anyone knows, Newcastle is a big building which looks like the Sydney Harbour House a little bit.
Or Slug.
Sorry?
Or Slug.
Yeah, or Slug, whichever way you want to do. St James's Park, all these great places with great backgrounds. We went looking and he picked, the director, Richard Healy, picked Sunderland City Centre. So they were having to do that in front of family and friends. They were all sat like what you are now, or stood rather. And we had to stand there and say, my first line was, you're probably all waiting for us to say something funny, but this isn't funny. This is the worst thing I ever had to do, which it was. But at the same time, a lot of people would look at that, and certainly I know Amy felt like that about it. That was humiliating. That was like an absolute nightmare for Amy. It really was. It was horrible watching it. I showed Mark some photos of it yesterday on the train, and I nearly got a little bit emotional just looking at the photos of her doing it. But for me, it was empowering. I had the power now, that was it, there was no going back, because I really put myself out there. I said, this is me, this is what I look like in my kegs, this is it. 32 stone, 2 pound, I'm not going back, I'm not going to go back, I'm never going to be this heavy again. I'm going to make that change, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to go there, I'm going to win the Biggest Loser, I'm going to come back, and you won't even recognise this, and all these things just came pouring out. And it was really, really empowering, because I put myself out there, shut the door behind us, and there was no going back. Once I'd done that, it was on film. So if I had then, like some people did, went the Biggest Loser, I made a tool of myself and sat around lazy. I mean, I was talking last week about how I used to really hammer myself in the gym all the time. And I remember seeing some people who went home in the early sort of stages sitting there picking the nails on the nana bike. The sit-down bike, I call it the nana bike. Sitting on the nana bike picking the nails while I was like, because I knew there's no way I was going to go back to Sunderland, having been on TV doing that, because no matter what happened after I'd done that, that was going on telly in January. If I'd got off them scales and went, oh God, don't fancy doing that again, I think I'll give it a miss. We'll say, all right, fair enough, that's still going on the telly, because we need it now. We've spent thousands of pounds doing that. We've spent thousands on getting you this far. It's going on TV, and you're going to have to talk to them, well, obviously you signed a contract. You're going to have to talk to them about getting out of it. So there's no way I was going back. I put myself out there, shut the door behind us, and that was it. There's no way I was going back. Since then, you all saw the programme. There was no dramatic ending where I go, and then I won. We all know I won, and it was fantastic. It was a great feeling to win the programme. I went there to do that, and as I said, when I won, I came here the heaviest person ever. No one had been on Biggest Loser in this country heavier than me. I was American fat. I would have been one of the heaviest people who had been in the American one. And you know how everything in America is bigger. The buildings are bigger, the food's bigger, the people are bigger. I was American fat. And I'd gone to the Biggest Loser as the biggest person ever, the most unhealthy by a mile. By a mile. Actually, there was Apart from poor Jeff who got sent home having had a heart attack, I wasn't as happy as that. But Diane, the older lady, she was like pretty unhealthy, but the rest of them were much fitter, much healthier than me. But it was what was going on in there. They all thought it was a physical game. I knew it was about what was going on in here and how I controlled what went on around us and how I decided that I was going to make this happen and I was going to accept nothing else. Fantastic things have happened since I won The Biggest Loser. That's just to talk very briefly about that. Actually, I know I've gone way over, sorry. Things like the opportunity to come here and talk to people. If I'd come in here a year ago and went, I'm Kevin, I want to tell you about how great it is to be here, and because this is what I was like, I know I'm 32 stone, but I really believe that within everybody, this is what I believe, within everybody, is the ability to be an awesome person, and I'll get there one day. So if I come here, you would have been like, who was this? It would be like a joke. But I've got things like this going on. Commercially, money-wise, which I know everyone likes a bit of money, and there's no denying that I like that, and I like to have things. There's a story behind this. When I got The Biggest Loser house, I knew the rowing machine was going to be my friend. I knew that by doing rowing on the Concept 2 rower, available from www.concept2.co.uk. You know what's coming now. I got on that machine, and I couldn't bend over enough to fasten the foot straps. I was so big I couldn't actually bend over. I was reaching myself, put my hand up, and one of the crew would come over and fasten us in, pass the paddle, and I would row away. While some of the others, not all of them, a few of the others were sitting picking the nails on the nana bike. I was on the rower, absolutely belting myself, hammering myself, working really, really hard, because the rower from the very early days I knew was, as you'll know, is a massively effective piece of kit in the gym. We had a rowing competition as part of an elimination at one point in the programme. That wasn't a problem, it was because I'd been rowing. I think if I hadn't been on the row at all during the time I was there, then that might have been a problem, but it wasn't. When I got out of the house, I hired a rowing machine, and then when I won, Concept 2 got in touch with the PR company for ITV and said, can you ask Kevin if you'd like to do a deal with us? So they rang up and said, Concept have been on the phone, do you know the row you've got, do you want to do a deal? I was like, oh yeah, brilliant, excellent, because I've been hired 35 quid a month. Oh, brilliant. Now bear in mind, I just won quite a bit of money as well. I'd give Amy half the prize money, but I still had quite a little bit of money. I thought, well, awesome, the machines are about 40 quid, I won't have to give us one for half price. So yeah, great, yeah. She ran us back a couple of days later and said, right, I've spoken Concept. They're going to pick that machine and give you a new one with a new advanced computer, whatever it is. I still don't even know what it is. We're going to give you a skiers machine, which is another machine they make, which is fantastic. They're going to pay you money. And also, they want you to compete in the championships, the indoor rowing championships. They'll train you for it. They'll take you to Boston to do that. And they'll want you to come to some exhibitions with them. They'll pay you a day rate for that. And I was like, I nearly started crying. So I was thinking, 6 months ago, I couldn't even fasten my feet in these machines. And now here I am. These people are wanting me to pay us. And I'm not saying that to impress you, just to see it, to show the difference where life was to where it was at this point. To start, and literally, what I did was I stood like that. Next to a machine. Thanks. Incredible things can happen when you make a commitment and put yourself out there and commit to a day. Going back to what seems like probably 3 hours ago now, I talked about being at that Tony Robbins seminar. And now here are all these great things that are going on in your life. Me and John are getting married in October. I'll start married as Tony Robbins again. Bastard. Yeah. That's another great thing. I tweeted Tony Robbins, said, I've used some of your strategies to win The Biggest Loser. He sent us a direct message back. You were talking about boy bands before. Imagine sending One Direction a tweet. And the little Irish fella who dances all funny sent you a message from him, because they're doing himself. He sent you a message back saying, great company gig. This is what it was like. Tony Robbins sent me a direct message, because he just did his own tweets, saying, congratulations, comes my guest, Unleash the Power Within. So I went. Charlotte, I was allowed a guest. I took Charlotte because Joanne had a lot on that weekend with work and stuff. It was quite short notice, and was sat right at the front. Tony Robbins is probably closer than what Dax is. It was incredible. Didn't get to meet him, he was too presidential for that. Probably got more chance of meeting Barack Obama than I had meeting him. Brilliant, great weekend. Got a lot from it. The seats are £3.5 grand each, and I got 2 for now, just because I wasn't big. So just all these fantastic things happen, you know, concept thing that. We did it again, didn't he? He said, what can you do? What big decision have you been wanting to make? What big thing have you been wanting to do in your life that you're going to do in the next week that's going to change your life? I thought, oh. I had met Astro and Marius a few weeks before when I'd been in France, but it just never felt right. Well, actually, it was because I hadn't drank half a bottle of wine. And I thought, well, I'll do that when I get home. I'm Astro and Marius, simple as that. And, you know, I like simple things in life. You know, I wasn't going to have like a bed of roses around the house. We're literally just lying in the settee, chilling out, just talking about going out at night. I said, so I haven't told anybody this actually. So anyway, I was wondering if you fancy getting married. And I know you're probably thinking, well, that's a very long man. What makes it even worse is we went and got our Nana's engagement, our grandma's engagement ring out of saved, and that's what she wears, because that's what she wanted, by the way. You know, she wanted that engagement ring. She didn't want anything flash or anything like that. She was like, I was quite surprised. I thought she might just go, hi, but she got all emotional. I was like, oh, what? I didn't think it meant this much to you. And so anyway, we want to get on with it quickly. You know, I don't like to hang around. So we're getting married in October abroad somewhere. And we're having a party in the Sage building when we get back in Newcastle. We're trying for a family, which, when I was 32 stone, you can probably imagine what my sex life was like, and what my love life was like. I hardly ever looked Joanne in the eye. And often, if you've ever been cheated on, if I've ever got a friend who's been cheated on, will say often, this line said, I knew there was something going on. He just couldn't look us in the eye for about the last 6 months. Or she couldn't look us in the eye for the last 6 months. And I was cheating on Joanne with food. And I couldn't look her in the eye because I knew I was giving her a shit life. It was my fault. And I knew I was robbing her. But now I can look her in the eye. I always look her in the eye when we talk. And, you know, life's much more better. You can imagine if we're trying for a baby, that does actually involve having sex, for those of you who don't know. So that aspect of my life is greatly improved. And all these fabulous, fantastic, amazing things that have happened in my life, and all the great people I've met, I didn't know who Dax was. You know, Charlotte, if anybody knows Charlotte Auden, what a great person she is. Richard Calendar, who for me is a lifelong friend. We get on fantastically well. Me and Richard connected quite early on. If you remember at the beginning, we did a 5k run. And Richard came out to meet us. He wasn't getting out, he said, look, he said, this isn't TV, there's no camera, because there wasn't. There's no cameras here, so I've seen it bio, I've seen your videos. I love you, niece. I think you can win. He said, I know you've got the eye of the tiger. And from then, me and Richard connected, and we're friends. We still are. I just texted him yesterday. You know, I'm training in his studio, and all these great people I've met have all come because I committed to doing something at a seminar and took one thing from it that changed my life. And that's it, really. Commit to the day. You're here, you've paid your money, you took a Sunday to come here. You could be at home, probably in the house because it's raining or whatever. But you're here now. You're doing it. So all I would just say is just get into it, get stuck in, and ask yourself the question now: what great thing will you be able to do in the next 7 days, the next month, the next year? What massive change will you have in your life just by taking 1 or 2 things from the day? Just get stuck in, enjoy the day. I know I'm going to. To be honest with you, I've got enough here now to go and have some cheesecake. But just get stuck in and have a great day. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry if I go around.